Welcome everybody. I have a message of the day from Metatron, and I have a union read, which is 4D, 5D, 6D today, not 3, 4, 5, and the union read on the table in front of you. So we're going to get started. I'm going to roll the die first. I've already cleared with my bowl, so go ahead and take some deep breaths as I go ahead and roll the dice. Today is December 29th, 2021. This is for the Twin Flames. Twin Flames. All right, we have Aquarius. We have the South Node, which is in Scorpio right now. And we have the number 3, which is the Empress in Taurus, but it's also the month of March, which is from Pisces to Aries energy. And definitely, yesterday we had Scorpio and Aquarius as well coming up. And you may be dealing with a Scorpio or Aquarius. And the number 3 of coming together. As my son is going home today and actually had to come back home again and make a phone call, which he's doing right now. He's Scorpio, so that's kind of funny. Okay, so we have those energies, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus or Pisces. Actually, Pisces came up significantly. This morning I woke up and I went on my iPad, and one of the first things I saw was the symbol for Pisces, which I never saw it in that way before, but the symbol for Pisces that looks like an H is literally the toroidal field. And something that I've used before, 2 circles with a line across the circles showing the quantum leap. That is the Pisces symbol. Just like the fish is the part of the 2 circles or the Vesica Pisces coming together, which comes up in the read as well. So this is the Metatron read. So this will be the first message that I give you or bring you. And I'm going to show you the pictures because I forgot to show you all the pictures yesterday. So I don't forget. This is the union read, 4D, 5D, 6D, 4, 5, and 6. Feminine on the left, masculine on the right, bridge between the center, incoming divine feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies and the closing energies for the union, 4D, 5D, 6D. And that's the SIRIAN Starseed deck as well as this one here. This is the more general read. The union read is about the physical union. This is about all of the energies of the masculine and feminine twins. All of the 7 decks are here in this picture. It is a 7-deck read, and yep, that's everything. Okay, so the 29th. The 29 is the 3 of Wands, and for me, that can be the traditional meaning is, your ship coming in or waiting for your ship to come in. For me, on the Twin Flame journey, it's very much about being present in the moment. It's also about gifts and your psychic gifts as well. And the day adds up to 46, which is that 6 of Cups, the loving children hugging each other, or perhaps being very loving to each other. The traditional card is 2 children, one offering flowers to the other. So, very loving energy there. Being present in the moment with your twin, literally, with the 6 of Cups and the 3 of Wands, the inner children that you are. And it was very interesting. I meditated. I always try to meditate before I go to sleep, but I did last night and this morning again, and I kept seeing a lot of energy pieces in orange, like nadis, the little energy lines, but orange. And I saw it several times, not just at one sitting. So that was coming up significantly. I also, when I went into meditation last night, whereas I can go into the astral field, and I travel a lot, last night for some reason, they were showing me the field all of a sudden started breaking up into multiple pieces, but not little pieces, like fields, like multiple dimensions. So the actual field was breaking up into more than one dimension. And that came up today as well. They were like overlapping suddenly. And then I saw a woman with her finger like pressing down on like a something soft and rectangular, like a button that you would push or something like that. And I didn't get the message for that until this morning, which I'll let you know in a minute. And I also saw a man, which looked very much like a human, a weathered man. And then all of a sudden his eyes changed and they became animated like a cartoon, and all of a sudden they just looked sideways right at me. And that was kind of a weird energy. But it was reminding me of a specific person that I'm dealing with right now. And also Ganesh was coming in again too. So this Metatron read, the underlying energy, it was done at 1041, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 41 of the Ace of Cups, self-love, spiritual love, new love. And the bottom of the deck was the green card of the heart, and it's also the 39 of the Knight of Cups. So very much about the heart and being love. Beneath the green card, because I pulled 3 cards of the underlying energy going into the read, was karma and creation, 28 of the twin flames, and the electromagnetic field and creation of the mother energy, the 3 of Gaia. And we got that message yesterday from Sam the Illusionist channeling about being firmly, completely into the 4th density now, which is Terra, the 50, which would be Gaia. And we talked about the difference between density and dimension yesterday as well. So that was significant to bring up as they're showing me these other multidimensional viewings, which we'll get into in a second. So the colors that came up were green, pink, blue, and gold. So the green and pink come up as the heart and the high heart, right? The physical heart and the compassionate heart. And also the blue and gold coming up. As the blue is coming up as the mother, it's not the traditional blue like regular blue, because they have indigo in this deck as well, because it still looks like indigo. But it was coming up here, it's the mothering love. And then the gold, of course, the Christ consciousness. So going into the read at 1053, which is the Wheel and the Knight of Swords, the Messenger of Truth, the twin flames of the electromagnetic grid, intra-weaving. And right at that time, all these crows started coming up. The crows started talking outside. The twin flame electromagnetic grid, and remember that your grid holders, you have certain grid marks that you hold, and I felt like my parents were holding space too when they were still alive. But weaving, intra-weaving gates in a dance with Terra and Gaia's abundant expansion, flowering in triangles and hexagons versus rectangles or diamond squares of the grid. And then that push button that I told you about that I saw, they were then bringing in now as taffy, because they wanted me to see the goo of the electromagnetic grid and the twin flames using so-called solder or goo on the joints or the grid points, the 0 points, to grease the grid, so to speak, of diamonds and squares and diamonds were coming up as the Emperor versus the circles and triangles of the Empress or Gaia. And in alchemy, the feminine is the shape, the masculine is the change or the triangle. So the circle and the triangle come up as the masculine and feminine in alchemy. So that was coming up here as well. And then the crows, all of a sudden.
It should be back online now.
Yes, I'm recording, so don't say anything personal. That's my son. Everything okay now?
Yes.
Okay. I love you.
Okay.
So that's interesting that my son just came out that moment, because right here at this point in my read, regarding the squares and diamonds of the Emperor and the circles and triangles of the Empress, I had just sent some love light to my son's car because he's traveling today, and right after I did that, all these crows came in from across the street. And the main crow, bye sweetie, I love you. Yes, that's for you, both of them. These crows all came, like one, first I saw them just land in the middle of the street, and it was so cool because it was so profound the way this big bird just came down and landed in the street. And then they all came into my tree, and the lead crow was in my tree, and he was kind of like barking orders, but he was facing right at me as he was telling the other crows what to do. It was a very powerful moment, but a lot of crows. I don't usually get the crows all over my lawn, but they were everywhere for a little bit there. And then at 11:07, and that was, the crows were at 11:01 to 2, which is the masculine and the feminine, right? The magician and the high priestess, and the justice of the alignment of the 11. And then at 11:07 was the Knight of Cups coming up as that next card, the green of the heart and healing. And that represents very much my son, because he's Scorpio, the Knight of Cups, as he leaves, and the crows as well, coming in as protection, right? And then at 11:07, the crows just flew back to the trees across the street, so they weren't on my lawn anymore. They'd gone across the street. The Knight of Cups, Emerald Heart Healing, and again bringing up the square, which is also the diamond if you turn it, the 0 of the circle, which equals the 4 and the 3 of the Emperor and the Empress, the square of the 4, the 3 of the circle, and the 7, which is the all. The indigo white was coming up as the diamond, and the rainbow bridge as the circle feminine, and then equals the 7 of the heartbeat. And at that point, the crows were all yelling, and then stopped all of a sudden at 11:10, the moment before 11:11, or again, nature, or all life on the planet was coming up as this heartbeat, right? The heartbeat of Gaia is everything that's upon her. So at 11:11 was the green and pink of it, the hearts, the physical and the etheric alignment of hearts, the Knight of Cups and the Page of Wands, loving and inspired, the emerald and crystalline, and the shell of resonance. And this is also where the bridge of the Pisces symbol, the line between the two circles, and the Vesica Pisces was coming up, which is the same thing. It's just the circles overlapping as opposed to apart and taking a quantum leap. The Vesica Pisces is the being intertwined, the two circles together, which creates the petal, but it's also the petal is two nadis or energy lines. It's not just the flower, but they're energy lines. And it's also, of course, the symbol of Christ, the fish. So the Pisces that I woke up to, and being the toroidal field and the quantum leap across. So the toroidal field isn't overlapping like the Vesica Pisces. It's basically the two circles or two ovals like the apple, and then the core in the middle. And then that's the vortex where the line is, the leap across the two circles. So the green and pink hearts, the physical and etheric alignment of the Knight of Cups and the Page of Wands. Page of Wands very inspired, and the Knight of Cups very loving. Loving and inspired, the emerald or crystalline and shell of resonance, which you are. The womb of creation, or the life bulb, right? The bulb like that grows in the ground, but also the bulb like the light, and comparing the womb to the third eye. And the heart of healing, with the twin flame light bulb, or third energy like the third eye. Water, water, water for emotional well-being, the dolphins in Lemuria, and the 20-sided crystals, the faces and angles and cuts connecting grid points here, intra-dimensionally. Me seeing the astral plane split was a reflection of the sunlight fracturing through the crystals, creating the rainbow on our side here, right, as opposed to the etheric side. The source light fracturing dimensional planes. So there's a lot of examples here. So in this read, they're telling you what you see on this side, or in the fourth dimension now, on our side of the plane is this, compares to this on the other side that they're telling you about. So again, me seeing that astral plane or the astral sky split last night in meditation was showing me a reflection like the sunlight fracturing through a crystal, right, which makes the rainbow. It breaks the light and creates a rainbow. On our side, that's what we experience. On their side, what I saw was the source light fracturing the dimensional planes, creating beautiful projections on both sides. On our side, the rainbow. On that side, the projection. Not just the whole, but seeing each piece of the puzzle, each color of the white light. The green heart, or physical body, connected to light, but the high heart of compassion, and pink relates to the sound and the breaking of the sound barrier of resonance. The air that we breathe, or the whistle, on your side, and then the ether, or the Om, on the etheric side. Sun and Gaia, source and projector of multiple slices. Like this card, they wanted me to show you this from the Journey of Love. Like this projector, and this always comes up with the Green Mile, when he was watching Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, I'm in heaven, and he was watching it on an old-fashioned projector. So this projector light is literally what they were showing me, and I've talked about this a lot too, about the way the ETs will first come to us by projection, so it won't be so intimidating. So they're kind of bringing in more information regarding that. So again, the source light, like the light here, fractures through crystal to create a rainbow. The source light fractures dimensional planes, creating beautiful projections, both on our side with the rainbow and their side, not just seeing the whole, but seeing each piece of the puzzle. So not just the crystal white light, but seeing the rainbow as well. So you get to see all of it, not just the whole. Each color of white light. The green heart, or the physical body, connected to the light, but the high heart of compassion, or pink, relates to the sound and the breaking of the sound barrier of resonance. And again, now they're comparing the air that we breathe to the ether on the other side. So the air, or the whistle sound of the breath on our side, and the Om of the sound of the universe and the ethers on the etheric side. The sun with Gaia, the source and the projector of multiple slices on the other side, like that number 70 card, which is heaven. And here we have the 7, source backing up the number 7, because I was just telling you about the 3 and 4 of the Emperor and the Empress, the square and the circle becoming the 7 of the whole of heaven. The journey of love, or heaven, the green mile that equals the bridge of green heart to the pink heart, and your connection to source. The aqua water is the plasma in the mother's love. Okay, so now they're talking about water. Right, so first we talked about sound and air, and now we're talking about water. So on our side it's water, on their side it's plasma in mother's love. The nerves of the human brain are coming up as the orange nadi that they were showing me of the collective source brain. Like my octopus teacher, with a mainframe head and tentacles that operate independently, when they give birth, they all die, giving all of themselves to the new child, the new birthing, a complete implosion and explosion all at the same time, a completely new age, or new version of God's self, a rebirthing over and over of crimson and clover, the crimson of bluish red, or the veins and the arteries, and the clover of 3, but sometimes 4, of the 3 and the 4, if you are lucky to experience all tools on board. The 3 plus the 4 togethers or simultaneously fitting a square peg in a round hole. So again, the 3 and the 4 together is simultaneously fitting the square peg in the round hole, the 4 of the square, the 3 of the circle, the Empress and the Emperor. The masculine and the feminine working as one, independent and yet one at the same time, at 11:34. 11 being justice and the alignment of truth and balance, and the 34 of the energetic exchange and the arrows of love between. The 34 equals the energetic exchange, EE, lots of energy, the arrows of love, the divine feminine within the masculine. The number 7 of the chariot is the vehicle of ascension and infiltration all at the same time. That both the masculine and the feminine, the 3 and the 4, are both driving the 7 chariot, the vehicle, both inside and out, crossing twin bridges there and back at the same time, and then 20 and back was coming up as well as in relation to that. Kind of giving you an idea of the 20 and back energy of crossing bridges at the same time. So you don't go there and back, but you are simultaneously at the 0 point, 20 and back. So then at 11:37, which is justice of the alignment, and the 37 of the King of Cups, which is unconditional love, So green here is the forest of emerald and crystals, seeing the woods through the trees of Gaia, the pink sand and the shells, and then the aqua, diamond and light, the green body, the pink heart mind, and the aqua is the mother's love, the water and emotions, the aqua oceans, the chariot or ride of your life, riding the waves, and the green room, just to be washed up on the pink sand, and that pink sand trying to penetrate every entryway into your body, every nook and cranny when you get smashed into that beach, of compassion for self, and exfoliating with salt water all at the same time. And then it's 1144 with justice in the 44 of mastering, grounding, integrating, especially receiving of love. The social worker of the etheric realms you are. Priorities, big bird. The birds see you as big bird with a rainbow of colors in between. Or the crow is the group and the raven is the one of your rainbow bridge and the chakra system. The white light. The white light crowning, and I wrote crowing, so they're making a little funny there. The white light crowning or crowing, and crow is in crown with Jesus there. Crow is with N for me, lowercase n is Jesus for me. So it's literally saying the crows are with Jesus, the white light crowning or crowing, and the golden wings of the eagle that you are. Pure white and golden all at the same time, with every color of the rainbow of the white, and then the rainbow between. The birthing of the whole. The shell's womb of energy and Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, the dolphin's fish, water, and the petals of the Nadi, and Pisces, which we talked about, the Pisces symbol and the Vesica Pisces. And then the prism of breaking the rainbow, right, breaking the light, the prism with reddish gold, and Aries re-energized with red. So they're talking about the next three signs, from Aquarius to Pisces to Aries, the next cycle, starting over from scratch, pushing up from the root, but now with golden wings all at the same time. Big Bird is very tall, sweet, caring, and silly, and not sure if you should take him or her seriously. The Queen of Swords, with words to impart, coming from a wise place of sorrowful experience and loss, and yet overcame. The cosmos mirroring you with judgment, but judgment not in a negative way. Judgment is a decision, announcement, or a wake-up call to action, or perhaps rescue attempts, or gentle nudges from beyond. But you have free will, and they can give you all the signs you want to follow, but you don't have to listen. So if you don't, you're going to follow your own intuition. Is that your intuition? Or are you ignoring your intuition, is what they're bringing up. The 12 strands activated means you're on auto GPS. And when I wrote down auto by accident, I wrote it ought and O. And AUT was coming up in comparison to AUM of Om. So notice when you say Om, you say it in 4 parts. A-O-M, right? Om. And when you say AUT, it's out. So you're literally saying out, as opposed to Om, which is home. So the out of being out, and then the O separate from that, the human embodiment of source, is automatic here on GPS. The 12 strands activated means you're on auto GPS. Aut, A-U-T, also means high or exclusive, to prepare for the journey, to put on your footwear. Touchdown, right? It's called touch because it's outside the boundaries. It's beyond the goal. To play ball or ball out of play, the area outside of your borders or boundaries, expanding out even more. The exclusive human God's projector system. Okay, and that's auto GPS. Exclusive human embodiment of source and God's projector system. You have built, and they're also telling me the S is for Sophia as well, the feminine. the Divine Feminine, the projection of the Divine Feminine, God's projection of the Divine Feminine. You have built in autopilot, or ought versus ohm, out as opposed to home. And then AUMO doesn't come up as a word, but it does with E on the end, which means midnight or late night. So as opposed to auto, I wanted to see if there was also a reflection of OMO, which is coming up as midnight or late night. So outed, the out, A-U-T, of the outed human pilot, or pi lot, or lots of pi. So if you draw pi lots of times, it's literally the crazy eights with lines between them, aligned in the 11. If you put 4 pi's next to each other, it equals 2 eights with an 11 inside the eights, the crazy eights. And the word 8 is EIGH, which means ice, and T. Then iced tea came up, and the cold magnet, the ice Tesla. And when I looked it up, the first entry was Volvo's electric car. But then what they were talking about was the iced tea, because some YouTubers decided to take a Tesla car, an electric car, the ice, and ice it with a Chevy V8 gasoline-powered engine. So this is the V8 powered Tesla-driven 12621 was the message here, that these YouTubers installed a V8 inside a Tesla and unveiled it at the SEMA show, SEMA. Again, putting fuel into an electric car, but having the Tesla car, but with a powerful engine. And then it was 1221. So again, also gas car. Another article came up about people parking in the electric spots when you're not an electric vehicle. And now they have floor locks that they put in those spots that can only be unlocked with the electric vehicle application. So that was coming up as well. So a way to get people to stop parking in electric vehicle plug-in spots if they're not, because they shouldn't be parking there. And again, that reference of one and the other all at the same time was coming up as that iced tea. At 1223, which is the Hanging Man and the King of Wands, again the eights equaling the iced teas, both gas and electric, or magnetic and electric. The 20 of Judgment was coming up here, but it's also 2 and 0, right? 2 is the High Priestess, the Divine Feminine, but putting source behind it comes up as judgment. But it's not about a negative judgment. It's about a wake-up call, a decision. It's your messages from the other side trying to guide you to your highest timeline. But you can choose not to accept this mission, right? Because you have free will. And the 2 and the 0 is, again, the Divine Feminine with source backing them up, or space, or source support. Judgment equals God backing up the Divine Feminine when the Divine Masculine won't listen to reason at 1225, which is kind of that quarter energy of the 8th dance also. Because it's not 125, but it's close. It's giving me that energy. Because 125 is an 8th. So 1225 is the Hanging Man and the Knight of Wands, who's inspired to get up and go, seeing a new perspective, which inspires them to move. So it's like lighting a fire under their butt when they're not reasonable. Endings each day in sunset with pinks against the night sky, the ancestors reflecting you or saying goodbye. So a lot of your relatives may be leaving right now. Thanksgiving every day, don't forget, with blessings and thanks. An abundant universe of synchronicities and messages and healthy food and colors to share. On the beach, where the land meets the sea, meets the sky, inspiring I am, the message in a bottle, you are, or the shell and the wind beneath the bird's wings. Freedom of speech, of being you, the reason why you are here, to spread your unique message or code, where no one can park in your electric spot, overriding your magnetism here. You are irreplaceable and unforgettable, even little old Nat, or N-A-T. The for me, capital N is the Christ energy, And up here is coming up the T for Tesla, or electric Christ and magnetic Tesla. The duality of the King of Wands. That the King of Wands is out of alignment in this card because they don't have that Pisces bridge across, right? They become out of alignment, and then balance is always needed. And the King of Wands here is then with the Knight of Wands, with a love for life, inspired to act and give up to all that is, which is then Pisces energy of surrender. And allowing Big Bird, so now we have the Queen of Swords with the King of Wands. King of Wands is allowing, or that masculine is being stubborn, is allowing Big Bird to initiate at 12:34, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, shut the door. And that's funny, that was when my son was getting ready to leave. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, shut the door, the 12 of the Hanging Man, and the 34 again of the energetic exchange, the 3 and 4, which equals the 7. The square and the circle, or the masculine and the feminine, that equals the 7, the chariot of the masculine and feminine within, both driving from within and without. To fly free and breathe the air. As the diamond light comes in, be the wind beneath the bird's wings in transition. You set them free. The beacon of light shine on 44, mastering, grounding, and integrating the pillar of the lighthouse that you are, with waves crashing up against you and yet unwavering strength of compassion in the air. With Atlas on the journey of the tree of lights, red light, green lights, there's a reference there to Christmas as well, but Atlas with the weight of the world on their shoulders on the journey of life. And remember that Atlas is also a map on the journey of the tree of lights, the journey of the map of the family, the tree of lights, red light, green light. But orange, the nadis, and the golden wings here, the random pieces of creation and the whole of the Christ unity consciousness at the same time, the one and the all for one and one for all, the 14 and the 41. The bridge between the Pisces symbol of the two curved lines, like an H with a line across, extending outside the lines, stretching beyond our usual boundaries, and then the Aries symbol, which is a ram, which is a V. The Pisces quantum leap to the V of Aries, ram tough, or perhaps the Chevy V8. The tree of life has circles to repeat, to go around in circles, or new routes or routes to travel, those energy lines. But now you can leap as well from circle to circle without having to go around. The portal transition to the next outside your normal boundaries. Transformation, this is like the touchdown as well, going past the goal. The transformation in receiving the full light, allowing your shadow to be seen, right? Because when the light is on your face, it casts a shadow behind you. But that shadow in the rebirthing of chaos, which is birth, and the mothering of the present moment, and speaking within, like, using your intention to speak within, speaking your truth into reality, creating your path by projecting out an energetic exchange of appreciation and healing with the future versions of yourself at 12:46, which is again the Hanging Man, and the children loving each other, being very innocent and pure. And projecting that pure version of yourself forward. Your shadow is the mother here, right? You receiving the light is the masculine part, but the shadow behind you, the inner side, is the mothering here, holding that new light that you just took in and alchemizing it to compassion going forward and seeing what becomes from who you are at this present moment. It's open-ended. The Holy Grail, the gold cup on ice with unending love light to share. So again, ice represents preservation as opposed to the fire of burning something out. So the Holy Grail is coming up as a cup on ice here with unending love light to share to infinitum. The sudden event, the epiphany, the energetic exchange of the 34, the Emperor and the Empress, the Divine Feminine and the Masculine, the circle and the square or diamond, in leading the way in the dance of the 8. And remember, the square doesn't dance, but if you turn it an eighth, it does. It's on its point. and then it becomes the diamond light. That is the turn of the 8 dance, the crazy 8s, both turning an 8th toward each other to become the X and dance together. The iced tea, the preserving of time out to project the love light, answering the call from dark to light with flame in the right hand, the masculine hand, that's the fire. The ice is the feminine. One love, one flame, torch or light. The Queen of Cups focused on her light body, the chakra system, shocking Ra in your 11 alignment, because 38 of the Queen of Cups is 11. 38/11 is the way it's written. In taking the high road, you don't, when it reduces to a power number of 11, 22, 33, and 44, you don't reduce it to its single digit like you do all the other numbers. So 38 is a power number of 11, the alignment, or taking the high road. 11 is the number of the visionary, of the higher timeline in a wake-up call, listening to the song as well as each note and tone, passing your unique message through the shell of compassion, the clarion call home to the heart. Sudden love to dance with flame, the Queen of Cups and Justice, the light body and resonance, the light electric, the sound resonant magnetics, sight unseen. And then they went into, I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. So that was coming up. And by the way, I put a readout one time as a game for someone to try to figure out what song the cards were. And this is the song it was, but nobody guessed it, and nobody ever asked what it was. So if anyone out there is still listening and you're curious, well, here it is. The multi-dimensional magnetics pulling or yanking your chain, or in other words, pulling your hairs or energy lines up, like the hair standing up on end, a bit of a shock really, back and forth of it, of grease, right? And the two coming together, the back and forth of it, and then moving as one in multi-dimensions up and down. You better shape up of the 0 of the feminine circle. You better shape up, because I need a man. And my heart is set on you, which is the Holy Grail, the shapes and the circles. You better shape up, because you better understand and be reasonable. To my heart, I must be true. You are the one, number one, that I want. Ooh, ooh, ooh is 00, 00, 00, which is 3 8s, which equals the infinity, right? The two crazy 8s dancing side by side become the third, with the third 8th that tips it over becomes the infinity symbol. And then you both are dancing within 1 8 instead of 2 8s side by side. If he stays in his block, that blockhead of the masculines, like the Charlie Brown reference of the square, if he stays in his block or square and refuses to be the change or the triangle that he is, to allowing her circle shape and her creative V to be the center of his universe, universe, versing one, the divine feminine part of him, the bottom of his heart, right? The heart symbol is an M with a V underneath. The V is the feminine. It's the portal to the womb. The upside down heart is the pyramid of the mouth going into the heart, the masculine speaking his truth. So now they're playing on the symbol of the heart, of the divine feminine part of him, the bottom part of the heart and the V, in the weaving dance of in and out, of being home or om or not in ought. And the right side up heart being the M on top of the V, or the Mary Magdalene, and the entryway to the womb of the rolling stone in creation, or 2 humps, and the entrance pointing here where the heart lives. But first, the upside down heart of the masculine and the right side up pyramid, the V, where the mouth starts at that entry point, the divine masculine must first bottom out his triangle and open his mouth to the 2 U's at the bottom, the other side of the wounded warrior, of the rolling stone and her apple bottom to his apple bite at 120 to 21, which is the 1 of the magician, the 20 of the judgment again, of the other side, our guidance, and then the 21 of the world of completion point. So again, the heart, the right side up heart is the feminine V with the M of the Mary Magdalene on top, the masculine, the upside down heart of the wounded warrior on the bottom, and the right side up pyramid, but the pyramid bottoms out because it lets go of the bottom to become the 2 U's, the wounded warrior at the bottom. So the masculine must, first, before the masculine can reap the rewards of the feminine's heart, he must bottom out his triangle and open up his mouth at the top, pointing here, to the 2 U's below, which is the wounded warrior of the 2 of you, the other side of the rolling stone, her apple bottom to his apple bite. And then it was a 137 to 38, which is the King and Queen of Cups. In summary, the underlying energies were about the electromagnetic grid of going from Earth now to the 4th density completely of Terra and Gaia as well. Because remember, density, we're in the 4th density, but we can express multidimensionally. So we can still drop down at times to the 3rd dimension, or even the 2nd for some who are very low vibrational. But we also can express the 5D, 60, 70, and up while being in the 4th density. And the healing of the emerald heart, the twins, the mother, and the being love of the Knight of Cups, the square, the circles, and the heart of it, of the masculine and the feminine coming together. And then the life bulb of the inspired compassion and the mirroring cosmos of the 12-strand wake-up call, and the freedom in death, which is really just transformation and transitioning through the portal as the vehicle of communication. The message that just by being here, you are the message. Don't even have to say a word. You are the message. By receiving the diamond crystalline light, right, pulling that energy into the earth and the codes in order to ground it into the earth, being the wind beneath their wings in transition. And then remember that water is the conductor of the orchestra, the ultrasound waves to help you release at the end of each day at sunset. So to make sure you drink plenty of water, having compassion for any imbalance that you may feel, or to just go back to beaming your love light when the King of Wands gets too passionate about something. The 44 of the Atlas carrying the weight of the world, both the physical, mental, emotional, and etheric worlds. The 3rd section is the Big Bird and prioritizing clearing chakras and good food and water and gratitude for all that is, in the abundance of the universe, of the heart, and your zest for life. The Queen of Swords with synchronicities, and the King of Wands on the journey, becoming the Knight of Wands or traveling, which was funny because I am doing my synchronicities as you saw my son just leave to go on his journey to drive home. At 158, which is the Magician, and the 4 of Swords, which is the 5D connection in the etheric realms. So that's probably one of my all-time favorite Metatron messages. There's been so many cool messages that came through. So I hope you appreciate the messages they were bringing through in that. All about the quantum leap that you are. So now we're going to go back to I'm going to show it to you again just so you have the picture of it again. Now we're at the union read here to kind of break up the videos too. If anybody wants to time stamp it below, you're welcome to. And we're at 44:12 or 13 right now. 44:14. So for the union read here, which was done at 4:51 yesterday, which is the Emperor and the King of Swords. The underlying energy was the King of Pentacles, which is also Akashic Records and the Crystal Skull in this deck. And the central energy is the 6 of Cups of the children hugging each other in that innocent, pure love. And the closing card was the 3 of Swords about healing and forgiveness. So the Akash of the King of Pentacles and the crystal skull, after the Hermit shares or settles out, and Atlas leaving the wounded warrior behind, the King of Pentacles with fond memories and healing, and seeing the Akashic records of loving connection and healing and forgiving, with big download or a hit to the head after the full moon, sliding into home base, or the new moon, the mother lode of abundance. The mother easily carrying the weight of the divine masculine on her shoulders. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. So that was coming up. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always gets me high. So this is the feminine talking about the masculine, and carrying the weight of him on her shoulders is so easy because she loves. The incoming divine feminine is the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the King of Cups, the curious Page of Pentacles, and the child of mastering of crystals, learning to juggle and stretch from frog to prince charming, as the King of Cups, mastering heart-based emotions. In the 4D, we have the Five of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Seven of Wands, as the divine feminine is in the woods by the creek with the two cups right in front of her, or perhaps a child who's struggling in a relationship, the divine masculine rising with flame in hand above the drama, or perhaps their child is experiencing that. Bridging in the Three of Wands, being present in the moment to the flame and your gifts, and the divine feminine open at 504, which is the Hierophant and the Emperor, which is about control and commitment. And it's actually, that comes up as your marriage to source energy. The 5D here is Karma, the Six of Cups, and the Page of Wands. The divine feminine with Karma, or that wake-up call, the flowering of the crown and the crows, and the divine masculine with the Page of Wands, with the mask and their burning desire, expecting to be catered to, right, like the mother and child. Bridging with the Six of Cups in a childlike, loving hug of innocence and purity. And what's more innocent than the mother's love of the son, which is why that comes up. It's like the relationship of the masculine and the feminine. The 6D here is the Knight of Pentacles, the solar deity or the sun, and the Two of Wands or the twin flames. The divine feminine with the Knight of Pentacles proposal, the divine masculine with the twin flames and remote viewing off planet, bridging in the sun, being present, or gift of the twin soulmate. The outgoing divine masculine being the Four of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. On break, taking a rest, or 5D connect. On the beach, floating in their knowing, or on the jetties, or the mists of Avalon. The hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, in exile of the group. Healing in heartache or separation, and a fresh start with a big download about the full moon waning and waiting in the water, in the etheric realms, in the ethers. And Gaia, it says Gaia with the weight of the world, but I was just getting Gaia with her weight of worth her weight in gold. The weight of the world, the mother, who's worth her weight in gold, because she easily carries the masculine on her shoulders because she loves, at 524, which is the Hierophant and the 24 of the Queen of Wands. So again, it's the reference. Remember, you have masculine and feminine in each of you, but the feminine part is the one from which you love from. The masculine part can be very detached intellectually. So it's showing the masculine more of his feminine side. And the robin just landed exactly where that crow was barking orders. That is so cool. And they're in the same position looking right at me. So, and Robin Redbreast is the message of spring. And the robin just flew away. I don't know if it was a very blackish robin. I don't know if it was a robin. So, the divine feminine at 524 with the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands, which can be a fiery Taurus perhaps, purging light to end the karma with the Knight of Pentacles proposing Greece, which is so funny because I wrote this yesterday. I didn't even remember that because I was referring to the country Greece. But also, you see how Greece came up in multiple ways here. Grease came up as the country. Grease came up as grease you used to oil something up. And grease came up as in the movie. So it's very significant here. So purging of the light to end karma with the Knight of Pentacles proposing grease, or to stay a bit longer. The Divine Masculine with the Seven of Wands rising to tango as that Page of Wands, right? That impish child with their mask on and a burning desire, but as that Page of Wands, innocent, inspired twin. The bridge here is being present to your gifts, the flame, the innocent love, exposing all in the sunshine with sunshine on your shoulders, and perhaps the sunflower and FTD as well can be coming up here. The Divine Feminine with Aquarius, perhaps Virgo as well on their side, and the King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Cups all on the feminine side. On the Divine Masculine side, there were no major arcana, or possibly Aries, Cancer, and Taurus, but not in the major placement there. And then the Page of Wands was the only court card on the masculine side. And between them, Saggy or Leo, which was interesting because the feminine came up as the Tigress Lion. So here's that energy of Sag and Leo for me as the tiger and the lion, and the gift of being that. Excuse me. So this overall number here for the union read was 42, which is the Two of Cups. The horizontal pillars came up to 5, 6, and 31, which are the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Five of Wands, which is expansion and change. It can also be conflict, but also games in the pursuit of happiness. And then the vertical pillars came up as 0, 5, 0. And remember, zeros are source or space energy. The 5 of the Hierophant then came up again, another 5. And then the 9 times 2, which is the Hermit times 2. The 4 of the Emperor, the 2 of the High Priestess, and then the 8 of the Dance, or the manifestation of dreams. So regarding the Two of Cups, which these all come together as, the Hierophant and the Lovers with the Five of Wands, which can either be in conflict or in the pursuit of happiness, expanding, committed lovers, perhaps conflicted or in the pursuit of happiness about the Two of Cups connection. And then on the other side, the freedom with space, right? When you have freedom, you have lots of space between you. Regarding the war within of the Hermit and the Emperor, and in the twins in connection. There could also be 2 Hierophants or 2 Taurus energies, 2 Virgo energies, and the Two of Cup dance of the Two of Cups. This can be 2 sets of Two of Cups as well, which is often the case when one of the twins is still in a relationship. They're still in a relationship, but they're also with their twins, which is a second relationship. So the Two of Cups connection can also reference any soulmate connection. But also it's referencing the hero and the hermit, right? The one without, the one within. And the H and H also represents the lower vibration of the 8 and 8, of the dancing crazy 8s. And if the H's are 8s, we have 2 Hierophants and 2 Hermits. That's 2, 8, and 2, 8, which is the twin flames in the Two of Cups dance with the Two of Cups. Again, reflecting themselves perpetually in a do-si-do, in a very connected way from the soul and the Two of Cups, which makes the arc. So the one picture from the Gilded Tarot, the Two of Cups, there's like an arc of light from one head to the other, in that connection of telepathy, that intense connection of light, which is coming up here in the Two of Cups as well. So now we're at the read in front of you, the Twin Flame General read on the table, where the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt for today, the 29th, at 6:26, which is the Lovers and the Page of Wands again. At 6:38, which is then the Queen of Cups coming up with the Page of Wands, the Mary Magdalene energy, and the Lovers, the E Chariot comes up here. And again, representing that 34 of the energetic exchange of the Chariot. And then OT came up, which is overtime, but also the human embodiment of Source, and the T of Tesla, or magnetism. And of course, it's overtime as well. So the E-chariot, or the energy of the chariot, the vehicle of the masculine within or the feminine within the masculine, in the vehicle of ascension and infiltration all at the same time in overtime. Right? So, and now they're bringing this up in a different way. Right? So we're talking about expanding past the goal line, and here we're into overtime, which is past the normal limits again. And you can see the chariots of fire racing like the Olympics, but going into overtime. And then completing this read at 6:52, which is the Lovers and the Queen of Swords. And her message of light and truth, her love light message. The major arcana in this read were Justice, Lovers, the Higher Self, Abundance, which is the Empress, Reason, which is the Emperor. So here they came up side by side. And then the Chariot as well. And before the read, the Hanging Man and Alchemy came up. Alchemy is the Temperance card. And after the read, Guidance and Karma came up, which is Guidance of the Hierophant and Karma of Judgment, which all of those energies came up already. And you see how many majors there are. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 altogether, which is a lot. So we have 4 pentacles and 1 wand. That was it. There were no cups and no swords. 4 pentacles of the time, money, and effort type of energies. And 1 of the wands. So a little bit of inspiration with a lot of know-how, because the pentacles are the last suit of the deck. It's the culmination of all of the other elements into the pentacles, learning how to manifest using all tools, all 4 tools, including now the ethers, going beyond. The King of Pentacles, and then we have the Knight of Cups. After the read, we have the King of Wands before, so we have 2 kings and a knight. King of Wands before the read, King of Pentacles as the main character in the read, which is also Akashic Records in the Crystal Skull. And then after the read, the Knight of Cups, which is being love. We had double 5s and triple 10s, the 5 and dime, the dime outweighing the 5, the triple 10s of really high vibration, and the double 5s of the truth, Excalibur, that Ace of Swords. And we also have the 3 and the 8 being very significant, which is the 38 of the Queen of Cups. The 3 of the Empress, the 8 of the Manifestation of Dreams, and then the 38 of the Queen of Cups in coming together. We also have the 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands, the 58 of the 4 of Swords, and the 8-10 of 0 backing up the 81 of the ending of karma around the world. And I think people have been talking about that too. Is it Sam in his channeling was talking about all of the new children are coming in karma free? No, it was Patricia. Why do I forget? She's got a hyphenated last name. Cody's, is it Robles? She was talking about all the children since 87 are karma free. Which is very interesting. Because I'm trying, I raised my children during all that time. So well, anyway, that's what was coming through for her. But again, the 81 is 810 is the source energy backing up that end of karma around the world. The code line here is all about domestic harmony. And it was broken up into do and mestic and ha and harmony. So the code line number was 110. Which is 11 backed up by 0, so source backing up the alignment of the 11 of truth and justice. And it was coming from 107 to plus 3, which is Gaia. So the 107 of the 0 between, the space between the magician and the chariot, or the masculine and the chariot, and then the mother's energy being brought in here to make the difference of alignment, and 0 backing it up. The source energy backing up the alignment of the 11, which is truth and balance. Domestic harmony. So domestic harmony is within the body, within the world, right within the universe. The messages coming up regarding domestic harmony here were the trademark of divine co-creation in that high vibration of the divine feminine in the E tower, which is that energy tower of Eve, and the AB3s instead of ABC, because the 3 is like the apple bottom turned on its side. It's the rolling stone that the heart contains both the W and the M, and then we have the E and the 3 here as well. the high vibe of the Seven of Pentacles, the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower, the AB3s of the Seal. And make sure to do, and this is domestic harmony, was coming up as do, prime, and paint. And then, our money is the issue. Harmony. So it's our money, but it's also arm. And then New York was coming up here too, with space between arm and New York, between extending your arm to New York. That's interesting. That was just coming up now. So the trademark of divine co-creation and high vibe divine feminine's heart in the E Tower and the AB3s of Seal, of do, prime, and paint, and HA can be headache as well, regarding our money or reaching an arm out to New York. To finish, to complete, the two, destined and high vibration, the divine feminine in the E Tower, and the abundant empress, or the mother, the E, or of the sea, of the emotion, and the seal, all sea creatures there. To do, prime, and paint. I was just getting memories, and Barbara Streisand. It's making me cry. Memories light the corners of my mind. The waters color memories of the way we were. Scattered pictures of the smiles we left behind. To one another. You can look up the lyrics for The Way We Were. That's coming up. And Robert Redford was just coming up too. It's making me cry. Barbara Streisand and Robert Redford. And the painting. The two-dimensional painting. And that always comes up in the Journey of Love deck. So again, for the code line, it's saying not just, make sure not in your relationship, not just to prime and paint, but to seal the deal, right? It's paralleling the relationship to painting a wall. That you need the ABCs of sealing as well, to prime and paint. And I was getting the hierarchy of our money, of our memory, of our, it's like honoring your memory in domestic harmony. To finish, to complete. Again, two, destined high vibe, divine feminine in the E Tower, abundant empress, E, or the sea, or seal. And then also is coming up as the key M. And again, that comes up as the she god of the Pleiadian god Imana, which Elena Denon spells with an I, but I was guided to spell it with an E. And that can just be in reference to the codes that I come out with. So Imana is man with E and A around it. Right? The E of entertainment and arts or emotional attachments. That's up to you, with man in the middle, right? With free will. But here's the M, the key of the M, Imana, of source energy. But it also comes up, M is also part of the rolling stone of the W, the M, the E, and the 3. The Mary Magdalene, the wounded warrior, the energy, and the divine triangle. And the bird just flew up to the tree. The key of this, of the wealthy, productive, fertile, and talented man, the Christ of purging, the Scottish re, a gift, or sift, or sieve, or riddle. And I first had read this as emancipated, but it wasn't. It was emaciated. But maybe emancipated is coming up as well. The emaciated animal of the sea, or seal. And the filter here, the sieve, or riddle. The filter of the emaciated animal of the sea, or seal. The seal. I'm getting my octopus teacher again as well. To seal the deal with octopus teacher, who's got the mainframe brain, right, with the independent tentacles, or perhaps testicles, because that could represent the masculine. And then the seal of the sea, which is the feminine, who's starved for affection in the filtering of the riddle, the emaciated animal of the sea and the seal. And also coming up as totality, the divine too, and the destiny to reap reward of the son of the empress, the mother and son, or the X, abundance of energy, or aborted 3, or the ABCs of sealing, mixing, and painting, and the headache of the money involved with that. Or again, referencing, like I said, New York was coming up, of reaching out the arm, reaching out an arm or extending a hand to New York, which somebody could be connected business-wise to New York, and maybe we're related to the Twin Towers when that happened, so there may be some memories there that are difficult to get over, because there may have been lost back in 2001. So at 7:34, which is perfect, because we've just been talking about 3, 4, and 7 the whole time, justice is the underlying energy upright of truth and balance, the 11 of alignment. And beneath that was the hanging man. So again, justice is this big card on top right there. The hanging man underneath there is reversed, with the 5 of swords reversed, the 10 of pentacles reversed, alchemy upright, and the king of wands upright. So being awake post-war, or perhaps post-virus as well, of the 10 of pentacles reversed, dysfunctional family, business, community, or world at large, or legacy, but they're reversed, so of loss or dysfunction. And the patient angel, or perhaps Sagittarius, king of wands, of divine justice, in getting over loss, regret, and holding on to new passionate offer from an awakening to a scam, or liar, cheat, or thief, or draining in the element, or drawing in the element, or runaways or strays. Like being very conscious to the kind of energy that wants to be with you. With Pisces, and that was coming up yesterday with me too, with my kids. Pisces or Capricorn reversed, Sagittarius and Libra both upright here, with the Queen of Cups upright in the never-ending story, with the Knight of Pentacles upright, never sealing the deal. Perhaps sickness or in need of courage, strength, good health, to come together or socialize with awakened or group who's awake to the direct connect to the Page of Cups, or that innocent energy source. And that's referencing to adrenochrome as well, in a negative way. So Scorpio and Leo both reversed. Pisces is upright and reversed, or Capricorn just reversed, or awake to who all the flowers came from, or the lucky charms, the Irish or the Scottish, with a message of love, puppy love, or the Page of Cups child, or Libra with Capricorn or Pisces, with third child on the way, or with fond memories of the Page of Cups message, pet or child. Perhaps a pet who's not in good health right now. The Knight of Pentacles upright, offering help, working to align with desires of secret passion, in the need of hope, healing for dreams to come true, with hook in the train, or ice pick stuck, or hammering out creations of sorts, or a leak in the ceiling due to melting ice. I was also just getting a situation, and this is not for all of you, but there's somebody out there at least, and I hope it's not true in a personal sense for someone I know too, but the energy of having a pet, and someone might be doing something toxic to the pet and is coming up around Munchausen syndrome, because the pet is very much loved by the other person, and they won't leave, like they wouldn't want to leave that other person if the pet is sick, who also is very attached to that other person. It's like someone's ploy to keep someone there by making their pet sick. So be careful about this. And again, that person could be codependent. They could have addictions, or be very depressed. And again, it's coming up as that Munchausen's by proxy when it's somebody else. When they do it to themselves, it's Munchausen's. So that's coming up for somebody. Pisces reversed and Aquarius reversed are in need of assistance. Flirt And beneath that, true love. The fallen star and the King of Cups reversed, who can be someone very detached emotionally or be over-emotional and depressed or addictive or who drinks. The fallen star and the King of Cups reversed, and the dark priestess without the keys, or the keys didn't work, or were already dropped off, or a secret passion with Aquarius reversed and Pisces reversed and Cancer reversed, and the Queen of Wands undressing or making selections of what she wants, trying to pull him in with sex because she's broke, or he is, and that's too bad, or the flame is present to the brokenness, the break up, the break down, the break in, out, or the breakthrough in the splitting of the bulls or the running of the bulls, overturned, and overtime was coming up before too. So this could be the bulls overturned or in overtime, or fire sign and Pisces reversed, lost their privileges and the keys to the cars. That could be kids who got in trouble as well. One didn't take care of the cat or pinned them against the ceiling, and they could be like someone not treating it properly, and the other left their clothes all over the place and can't find their new glasses, which may have been very expensive. And that was at 8:05, which is the dance and the 5. And by the way, 5 and 8 together are greased lightning, so there's another reference to Greece. The 8 of the manifestation of dreams and the 5 of the freedom, expansion, and change. And the other who left their clothes, around, and perhaps lost their new glasses. So following your dreams with 85, which we just said 8:05, and now the number 85 is coming up right next to it, which is the reflection of 58, which is the connection in the 5D. So then the 85 is the energy of grounding the union into the physical world or the physical realm. And then we have karmic completion beneath that, which is number 10 in that high vibration. So we have karmic completion, and then follow your dreams at 8:05, which is greased lightning. I got chills, they're multiplying. So ghosting or snuck out or stole, leaving the crib of the sister or suffering in silence to go to the workplace where they're happy being with themselves. The Page of Wands reversed may be frustrated or all over the place, or perhaps sick and recovering from loss, regret, or just an illness, or a loss of marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus upright, or took lucky green socks with no shoes on the new tile or ceiling tile. This can be Italian or terracotta, or has to leave Florida or the villa. And this could be kids who aren't allowed to stay there anymore too, like if they're on vacation or something like that. This is also somebody you may have lent out your place or your timeshare to, and they may have messed it up, or you might be worried they're going to mess it up if there's kids there. So again, somebody took their lucky green socks, so someone who's pissed off at somebody else might have taken their lucky socks with no shoes, and then ordering them no shoes on the new tile or ceiling tile, whether it's Italian or terracotta or red or brown, or has to leave Florida or the villa, and praying they didn't leave a mess behind for the Hierophant. And the Hierophant can be, anyone. It can be a business, it can be a Taurus, it can be a religious leader, any kind of a committed relationship there. Or dark birds are finally gone, or the family finally left, and now you can just focus on yourself and work or spiritual preferences. You don't have to follow other people's preferences. So then the Hierophant upright and Justice upright, or Taurus and Libra upright here, with the Page of Cups upright, and depressed and broke, or broken, or sent loving message, or a child to they may have sent a message to someone or a child to someone to cheer them up. A depressed Cancer reversed or Aquarius reversed who may be broken or broke down, or with Cancer or deceived about dreams and grounding union into the physical realm. And again, yesterday too, there was definitely like car breakdowns, things like just issues with your car, or maybe you got your keys taken away, you're not allowed to use the car. That can be an emergency too, or somebody who's on call might get called in. But definitely my daughter's Pisces, and she wasn't driving, but she was in a car that had a breakdown. It wasn't an accident though. So anyway, at 8:14 is the 8 of the dance and the manifestation, the 14 of that higher love of the Temperance card, taking one step at a time and being very patient, going back and forth in the dance, and the 3 of Swords energy. Well, that was towards the end here. Rather, the Knight of Pentacles, unable to escape the chains, or Capricorn, or Pisces upright and Cancer reversed, and the Page of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles may be ignoring them. The Knight of Pentacles is looking at them, struggling and turning, perhaps not helping them out and turning the other way. Perhaps a car accident where the Page of Swords is just pretending they didn't see it, or an accident waiting to happen. There's literally 2 people who are turning away from something that's like an accident waiting to happen, or an accident that happened. One who's literally pretending like they never saw it. One is there and immersed in the accident or whatever it is, and being very blatant about turning the other way. They're not saying they didn't see it, but they're blatantly saying, no, I'm not going to help with that. Perhaps a car accident where the Page of Swords is just pretending they didn't see it so they don't have to deal with it. That's another energy on the other side. Or an accident waiting to happen at 8:19, which is the dance and then the Sun, exposing all. Moving to peace, the Hermit away from the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, who are both upright, but stressed out with the Emperor reversed, maybe back and forth with them or in separation. That could be someone who's sick or just retired or got hurt or can't do it anymore, so they had to leave, and now King of Pentacles and King of Swords are stuck with the Emperor's work. Or in separation, that could be an ill parent as well. Or juggling calls, an announcement or a wake-up call. Judgments or rescue efforts here. The Hierophant's group may be bowing down to them, with the Hermit shedding light on their situation. The Knight of Swords rushing in about the group with a cross or a fight or an X, and satisfied Page of Wands taking a load off with the Page of Swords reversed, or confessing about rumors, silence, or negative self-talk, or spying and lying to or about a secret passion at 8:25, which is the dance of the Knight of Wands. In the recent past here is the 10 of Wands reversed, in dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, a satisfied King of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Wands reversed falling short, with the Page of Wands upright, imprisoning the Hermit reversed, who may be an ill parent. They could have dementia or Alzheimer's, or someone who's over-isolating, or now coming out about dumping a load, or coming out about dumping their responsibilities on the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community reversed with their own dysfunction and loss, or while work closed, or family, business, or community recovering from exile or illness or injury, the King of Swords is at the workplace. The 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community of dysfunction or loss. Hold on one second. Post-war or post-game or post-virus or post-foolish behavior of the Knight of Wands reversed falling, or a player who got hurt, or recovering with temptation, or the Devil or Capricorn there, waving. With Sag, Virgo, and Aries all reversed here, perhaps God and the Devil and divine justice of not leaving to go back to work or school, yet there's temptation hanging over the King of Swords' head. The foundation here is the higher self reversed, or a secret passion offering their truth now, or handing their crown on a silver, or their crow, handing them crow, eat crow. So the higher self reversed, or secret passion offering the truth now, or handing them their crown on a silver platter, or making them eat crow, or on a quest, or to fight for the group. Perhaps seeing synchronicities of coming together with a secret passion, but the group may be poking holes in their story, or trying to tell them lies so they don't. The central energy is the Lovers upright. In 5D Connect, on break, the Queen of Pentacles upright with new information or clarity, with the Queen of Cups upright and the King of Pentacles upright, receiving disappointing news or a messenger, and the Queen of Pentacles with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family or dysfunctional family, or just a family's experienced loss, is with the King of Swords, and the Queen of Cups and King of Pentacles are with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so they're both with this kind of air energy or some kind of communication, whether they're lawyers or messengers coming in. The King of Swords is obviously more mature or mastered than the Knight of Swords, which can be a younger lawyer who may be free. But again, there's two couples here. But one is the Queen of Pentacles with the family and the King of Swords. So that could just be the Queen of Pentacles with the family and a lawyer, or another partner person, and then the Queen of Cups and King of Pentacles with the Knight of Swords. The challenge being the Seven of Pentacles, the Divine Feminine, the E-Tower, with the Tower and the Ace of Wands, that's like sex, right? Or it's really passionate explosion of energy there in a 5D sexual connection. But this also could be reaping the rewards of the Tower and the Ace of Wands, which can be any kind of sudden event of new passion. So it can be creativity and growth as well, but some kind of creative or sexual connection here that's explosive. And it's definitely referencing the 5D connection. The patient angel, perhaps a sister or one suffering in silence or stressed out, with Justice or Libra in energetic exchange with the Queen of Wands. Juggling the lover, and there definitely could be two lovers here, because the Lover's card with two lovers came up as well, and it's upright. The juggling lover receiving love offer from the devil, and remember, when you're in if you're a twin flame and one person is still in a relationship, they're juggling two lovers, because you're always in a love relationship with your twin. So the juggling lover receiving love offer from the devil, Capricorn, or temptation, and the Knight of Cups upright rendering them weak with their offers of love and exposing all and sunshine and happiness, and energized by energetic exchange, with the Queen of Pentacles upright receiving a passionate offer from the Empress reversed, perhaps who's guilty, or with a guilty party exposed, and the Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help, perhaps from the Queen of Swords, who may be advising a dependent or daughter about it, or the Queen of Swords upright with two dependent children, and the Empress reversed may be sharing and exposing them while offering to burn the past with the Queen of Pentacles. And that could be a mother and daughter right there as well. In energetic exchange with weak but sunshiny Knight of Cups here, and that could be somebody recovering from being sick. And now the King of Pentacles is the king of his castle, implementing a plan with Sovereign and Page of Cups, or independent Pisces, perhaps the baby of the family, or dependent on the King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Cups, perhaps lacking faith about call or an announcement of the Queen of Swords, or Aries reversed and Aquarius upright, and the Queen of Swords telling others who are on the fence what to do. So again, others letting the Queen of Swords tell them what to do by not having an opinion. At 922, which is the Hermit, and the 22 of the Fool with an open heart taking a leap of faith. But the Fool, I believe, is reversed in this read, so they're lacking faith. At 924, the Hermit and the Queen of Wands, and that could be a Queen of Wands with Virgo in their chart, or vice versa, Virgo with a lot of fire in their chart. And then grounding and integrating, sleeping with the enemy. And that can be just sharing an apartment with someone, right, when you're fighting with your roommate. So it doesn't have to be someone you're literally sleeping with, is my point. Or you may be sleeping in the same house with someone who's sick. That could be coming up as well. So grounding and integrating, sleeping with the enemy, or a karmic tie, defenseless to false affections, over the Queen of Pentacles, and recovering by coming together to talk as a group or in physical reunion with issues at work that are destined, and the Page of Pentacles reversed in need of help, with the Emperor reversed who may be unhappy or with an unhappy family that's weak or not in good health. The Empress reversed with wounded warrior on guard or a guarded condition, so somebody's mother could be sick. I mean, this is very mixed with parents. This could be a situation where one or the other parent, the mother or the father, is having issues, but it also could be people who have lost both parents. So any kind of, the Empress and Emperor both reversed, and it's 3:38 on the clock, which is the Christ vibration, and the Queen of Cups, which is the Mary Magdalene and Jesus energy. So they could both be in negative aspects or both be ill, and it can just be that they each have a cold, but also it could be that the family is dealing with one's illness or passing and the other one's just struggling because of the other one's illness or passing, or they could be two people who are not together anymore. So there's definitely a lot of energies here with the Emperor and the Empress in the read. The Emperor is coming up as unreasonable as well around the twins or how they're seen, and the Empress is coming up over here of what's coming up, but also can be attached to the twins here in the way the twins see themselves. The twins could be seeing themselves as the feminine in lack, but other people seeing them as the masculine in lack. That's very interesting. So we have Libra, Aries. Let's see, Libra's upright, but Aries, Leo, and Taurus are all reversed. And a reunion with the King of Swords and the Hierophant, or a narcissistic old man with multiple women, or lost his mind. And this could be a lot of getting attention from a lot of nurses or things like that. Or the Emperor reversed is in need of help or needs an aid, is emotionally unfulfilled, and the Empress reversed may be guarded or in guarded condition. The King of Swords with Taurus or narcissistic marriage, or with the old man exposed by the Page of Pentacles reversed, and the Queen of Swords upright, and the Sovereign reversed, which also could be a mother with their 2 dependent children. That also could be letting go of people at work or spending. There's an issue with money there as well. So it's possible somebody could get laid off right there. But soon here's a lack of abundance with the Empress reversed, being sick, injured, being mean or in lack, and the Queen of Wands upright, an energetic exchange with Justice or Libra, Scorpio, with the World upside down, or with Pisces reversed, or in sudden event, epiphany, or post-war or virus, in sharing or settling out. Bad news or no news, being present to the Divine Feminine in 5D, or Pisces reversed and the World upside down, or needing closure, or almost done, in disconnect or at a distance, with Pisces reversed and Scorpio upright, or one is Scorpio with Pisces in their chart significantly, and the other one's Pisces reversed in their chart. And the Queen of Wands with Taurus and or Pisces in chart, or mother who's unhappy at 940, which is the Hermit, and the Page of Cups. The twin flames seeing themselves as the 8 of Pentacles, working to align with good news coming in, a fire sign and the Knight of Cups at a distance, or not seeing eye to eye about a move or travel at 942, which is the Hermit, and the 2 of Cups, partnership or connection. With chemistry, and by the way, 2 of Cups is reversed in this read, so it's a disconnect there. Or just being at a distance. So they're not disagreeing if they're at a distance, they're just not able to see each other face to face. Or if you're in their presence, you're not seeing eye to eye and somebody's finding peace elsewhere. With chemistry and codependency and reconciliation coming up for the twins, I was just getting ring around the rosy as well, reaping rewards but unable to manifest, or insecure without tools and manipulated by children, Leo, pets, or exposure of a betrayal, ending pain, getting a massage, or being a pain in the ass. And around the twins are how they're seen, again, is that Emperor energy of being unreasonable, and this again is out of control. So they're either out of control abusing their power, or out of control letting go of their power in ego death, or they could be sick or ill or injured, or just not around anymore. This could be someone giving you a message from the other side, both parents perhaps. Or the Emperor reversed is unreasonable or in need of help, with loving children and no options but to receive that message of love, or the Page of Cups, and ground and integrate an offer, but may be uncomfortable emotionally about it. With mothers and fathers in need of help or assistance, or ill or incapacitated, and the block here being the 3 of Pentacles reversed, with issues at work or no work at all. And the Page of Swords reversed, defenseless to Scorpio reversed, or doesn't have an excuse or doesn't need an excuse, that they're not well or out sick, which is interesting too, because my son was supposed to leave yesterday, or was it the day before? But he didn't have to because his game was canceled because of illnesses at work. So he didn't actually have to go back so quickly. So something could, be a blessing in disguise. Somebody who's sick, and he was sick this week, so he's just getting over it. So at 9:47 is the Hermit and the 47 of the 7 of Cups and synchronicities. The Chariot is upside down here. It's reversed. It's that energy of being stuck or blocked, an accident or brokenness, or an emergency perhaps, of the Hierophant, Taurus, or Cancer reversed, or Hierophant broke down, or in a car accident, or just stuck, or Cancer reversed dealing with the establishment, the patriarchy, or the old boys club and societal norms. Or a narcissist on the warpath, exposing the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Swords upright and that Sovereign reversed, which can be, like I said, the Queen of Swords with 2 dependents, and those could be dependent pets as well. Or kids spending, or dependent and broke. The Knight of Cups upright offering love perhaps with Cancer in their chart, or to get over loss or regret with guidance, marriage, or Taurus and Aquarius both upright here, in disconnect or not agreeing with partner or at a distance and offering time, money, and effort, or expecting an offer of a new life, or a big payment, or to support their dreams at 953, the Hermit and the Knight of Swords. Or someone with Cancer getting radiation or chemo or infusion, and then hanging out post-war or virus with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, or world. Patience, or being patient with the King of Wands and Justice and Sag, Libra, Capricorn, and Justice of a secret passion and working to align without reason or without cause, I was just getting as well, or without a need for a reason, or the Emperor reversed out of control, or not well and dumping their responsibilities or burdens on the Lovers or on Gemini, and challenged by the Divine Feminine's heart with their mother or with ill mother or one in lack and issues at work or no job, and the King of Pentacles broke or broke up, broke down, or broke through to be love as the Knight of Cups to help get over the loss and regret with guidance or Hierophant calling it quits, or the establishment, institute, or religion that went broke. The divine justice of dumping a load, burden, or responsibility on the Hierophant, religion, establishment, or Taurus, or going to confession, literally, about unethical practices or secret passion, and Lovers, the King of Pentacles, challenged by the Divine Feminine's heart, or reaping rewards and working to get their ducks in a row, with the Empress reversed, or lack of abundance, or the Empress reversed and the Emperor reversed with issues at work, perhaps broke, or with an emergency or accident, and the Knight of Cups offering love to get over guidance and call, an establishment, announcement, or Taurus, Aquarius ending a partnership, or broke up at a distance, or offering help from a distance at 10:06, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers. And again, there's that energy of reaching out to New York as well, right there. With Lovers or Gemini, challenged by savings, retirement, and issues at work or no work. Secrets, passions, and lacking of ethics, with divine justice here and parental issues, or the fall of the patriarchy, or broken system, or broken partnership at 10:08, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Dance. And the movie that came up last night was the new movie on Netflix, Death to 2021, which was like a spoof on all the stuff that was going on. So that was kind of interesting to watch. But Death to 2021 as we go into the end of the year here. And remember that death is just transformation. So let's go ahead and pull a few cards and see what else wants to come up. I'm in heaven. So I'm getting that dance again of Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire dancing. Dancing cheek to cheek. Cheeky. I'm getting cheeky and blush. You like the happy, the little happy face that's blushing. That's coming up. About dancing cheek to cheek. It's probably my twin blushing. Okay. So let's see what the animal deck here. The moth. The moth to the flame. Irresistible. So that irresistible was coming up with unforgettable. And irreplaceable was coming up too. So all of those things are coming up with this moth to the flame. And again, that's Spirit reiterating that you're irreplaceable. You're each needed. You are the message just being here on earth with your light. Right? That they're just drawn to your light. The phoenix rising from the ashes. And there's the wings again coming up regarding the eagle that you are as well. You are the one that's being magnetized, and you are the magnet as well. With the fall and the rise and the fall. And it's also very distinctly the heart and the solar plexus in this card, and then the lower chakra system here, like burning through the lower chakra system to move from the solar plexus up into the heart. And there's the fox leaving the hen house. In this deck, the fox is a very loyal partner. And there's the higher self within. And the elephant. It's a very interesting mix here. One more. And then the elk is here too. And the nightingale. When are you stopping? That's it. And one more. We got the scorpion sting here as well at the tail end. So again, the moth to the flame. Give me a second with this. Just getting Manny, Mo, and Jack, but also the Three Stooges are coming up here with Mo. And the Phoenix Rising. And the Three Musketeers. That it always works out well in threes. So the moth to the flame, the phoenix rises and falls. Moth to the flame, the phoenix rises and falls. The fox leaves the hen house, and the dragon watches all. The elephant clears the ground, and the elk heats up as a hothead as the nightingale sings to clear the air. The scorpion pulls out their stinger. So it's like the back and forth energy of the dance, right? It's never going to just be one flat light energy. You're always going to be in the dance between dark and light, but it's like moving that general back and forth dance up. You're raising the vibration there of the back and forth dance, so it becomes lighter and lighter and easier to do. They're giving me the dance of Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, very light on their feet. So it looks like magic. It's making me want to cry again. So again, that energy of the moth to the flame, the rise and fall, of the fox leaving the hen house, and the dragon who sees all, right? The all-seeing higher self. The elephant who's so benevolent. This is you clearing the ground with each step that you take. Even though your tusk is broken and you might have a mark on your head, the elephant keeps moving forward step by step, one at a time, in a very profound way. Even when the elk or that king of wands is being a hothead or being unreasonable, then you just open your mouth and sing your praises to clear the air as the sweet nightingale. And even if the scorpion like turns their back on you, walks away, and like this is the one pretending not to see what happened. Like I got my stingers out. I want to go jump somebody. I want to go shock them. Right? So he's got his stinger out. The nightingale sings to clear the air, and there's always going to be somebody who walks away because they want to go be mischievous and perhaps trigger somebody else. Or somebody might need a jump today. This scorpion can also just represent the shock of the hothead hearing the nightingale sing and clear the air. Look how he's mesmerized he hears it. He hears the hummingbird. He doesn't understand where it's coming from, but he hears it. It helps clear his head and clear his hot-headedness. And that might be a shock to the system. Maybe shocked that that's possible. Or shocked about what will come. Because we're going outside the lines, past the goal line, to the outer realms. The bottom of the deck is the tarantula. The tarantula in this deck is all about the why in the road, right? Which way are you going to go? There's the golden egg, like the golden child. This is the nest egg of your heart with the aqua color all around it. It's the mother's love of the child, the baby that you're birthing in your heart, and choosing which direction to go with the why in the road. And furry, they're bringing up the hair on the spider too. All the little hairlines that connect them to the other realm as well. That the magnetism of the hair going up on end, the electromagnetism. And it looks, I just put the cards down, it looks like the scorpion's going after the tarantula, giving them a little jolt. This could be kids walking around on the carpet after talking about this and then trying to shock each other. That's funny. This can also be people, the scorpion is literally, as the underlying energy being the tarantula at the Y in the road, trying to decide which way to go, or just staying in that present moment, not needing to choose a path. The scorpion may be coming in as a trigger to see if they can get you. That's that test. Can they get you? Can they trigger you? Can they get you upset? Can they get you to choose one way or the other and get you away from your neutral path at the center? That can be as well. Let's see what comes up with the journey of love. This is a long one. I knew it might be a little bit long because the messages from Metatron were very significant today. All right, from the journey of love. Journey of love. All right, we have the cloak of the 50. This is emotional fulfillment. And this again is that that periwinkle color is coming up for me here too, which came up, was it yesterday? The cloak of emotional fulfillment, of happy family. And this is very deep contemplation. The colors are beautiful. And then the angel of Jupiter awakened with the lovers there, emotional fulfillment for the lovers. And look, contemplating the alignment of the masculine and the feminine, both in line together with a little bit of space between, which you don't need to close the space, you just need to keep going because it naturally comes together. And there's one more card that came out too. Let the feminine lead the way. So we have the emotional fulfillment, and this is like the masculine energy, but in very feminine energies with the cloak of that periwinkle. And then the lovers of the angel of Jupiter awakening with this perfect alignment of Jupiter, which is very benevolent, and then letting the feminine lead the way as the Knight of Cups, because she's already got a handle on the Kundalini rising there. So it's the masculine and the feminine, and then them coming into alignment between. And she's into the lower chakra system right now. He's in the upper chakra system as they come into the heart in between. Okay? So she's being loved to help raise the vibration of the lower energies, and he's in the higher energies contemplating his union. And then bridging in the heart here. That's really beautiful, actually. With the purples, and then the lower chakra earthy, and then landing in the heart. So the bottom of the deck here is the legacy of light, and there's again the Jesus energy of holding the light and holding a person who needs help, or whatever that energy is over there. The legacy of light of the 53, which is the Knight of Swords, the messenger of truth, or the Knight in shining armor. And then we have the central awakening underneath that, which is the 64, the 10 of Swords. When that's reversed, it is the bliss of the pain leaving the body. The central awakening is the action of the pain leaving the body. It's not the feeling of when the pain's gone. It's the process of when it leaves, because that's the relief. The legacy of life, of light and life. The Knight of Swords. Being at that 0 point, which is that point, it's like that point of no return, between the pain and between the no pain, is the bliss state. Being at that Y in the road and not leaving that Y in the road. Perpetually being in that 0 point energy, in the present moment in your heart. And being able to, it's like the 3D is just staying here in that 0 point. Just to master that was enough. But now, going past the 3D, beyond the goal, we are now together learning to do the dance back and forth. But now we're going back and forth and moving up, up, up. The vibrations, but we're, as long as you can keep that dance steady, and move in a slow pace with all this light coming in, raising your vibration. That's the energy of what we're doing right now. It's not just about staying in the moment with no movement. It's doing the sideways dance between the masculine and feminine, but then raising up and down, up the upward energy as well. So staying in that now moment, and then slowly but surely moving up and up and up as you pulsate back and forth from the center, because you're never going to stay at that center point every second of the day. It's just because you're human. But it's doing it as much as you can to allow that light energy, the light quotient, to increase, 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 to upgrade our DNA and all that kind of energy. So let's see what they say here. The first card out was the moth to the flame. So let's see what it says about the moth. The moth is impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. The moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead us to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind the moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When they're in balance, they're enthusiastic and whimsical, but when they're out of balance, they idealize others and they become jittery. To bring back into balance, finish a project. So that's the moth. And then we have the cloak of 50. So the cloak is around you. There's a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it has served you for a time as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim a needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside to find out what you truly feel, what you truly need, to find yourself after being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Yet the time is fast approaching when you will no longer require that cloak. You have attained an integration within, a knowledge of self that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You have learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself, as we talked about at that 0 point, and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in and play. The message that this oracle brings to you is that you can safely release the forms of security that you once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional that you can enter into relationships with more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need, when you need it, without having to withdraw from relationship entirely. It is time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you whilst actively engaging in deeper relationship. You'll have fun. Loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and no place to go. So again, you're never completely still at that Y in the road. There's always going to be some variations of dancing back and forth, but you're not going to go to those full polarities anymore. You're staying close to the middle, but doing the dance, right? Because you don't want to be completely alone, which would be perfectly in that middle at 0 point, never having to associate with anyone on earth. But then what's the point of being on earth? So it's allowing some of that dance back and forth, but just not the polarities of it. Loneliness is like a ship in full sail with no wind and no place to go. So being perfect is a very lonely place, because then there's no dance. Okay, so I hope you like that one. It's 4848, walking away within of the magician. Don't forget about your water, right? Helps you connect and feel better, and your sleep and your rest when they can connect with you and help heal you as well at night. And remember your joy in your nature, to put your feet out there and have a laugh, watch something funny, right? Or just hang out and have a laugh with a friend. And remember to breathe. And just rise and be love. See you soon. Bye, guys.